There is an old, uncomfortably blunt piece of financial advice attributed to the late Charlie Munger. He told people to get their hands on their first $100,000, and after that, they could finally ease off the gas pedal. Most people hear a line like that and immediately dismiss it. It sounds like out-of-touch bravado from a billionaire who hasn't looked at a grocery bill in 50 years. Instead of arrogance, Munger was highlighting a precise, mathematically identifiable glitch in how wealth accumulation operates. There is a specific threshold where your money quietly becomes a far more productive worker than you are. Identifying where that line sits provides a specific mathematical target for anyone trying to stop trading their finite hours for a paycheck. To understand this threshold, we first have to look at why the opening phase of building wealth feels so difficult. In the beginning, you are the sole engine powering the entire operation. Every single dollar of progress requires your physical labor, your sacrifice, and your refusal to buy things you want. During these early years, compound growth feels like a lie. Your total accumulated capital is simply too small to generate any meaningful return on its own. It acts like a fragile seed that requires constant watering straight from your paycheck. This creates a difficult psychological vacuum. Human brains are hardwired to expect immediate feedback for hard work. You can exert massive physical effort, packing lunches, skipping vacations, and working overtime for 36 consecutive months, only to realize your investment balance is barely twitching. Many aspiring investors throw in the towel right here. They don't necessarily lack discipline. They simply abandon their strategy right before the math bends upward into exponential growth. This graph maps the direct battle inside your financial life. You have two competing cash flows: the raw dollar amount you manually save from your job, and the completely passive yield generated by your assets working in the broader economy. Your personal ability to save money has a hard structural ceiling. You can only cut so many expenses and work so many hours before you max out your manual capacity. Let's say you save $1,000 a month. That locks your manual progress at $12,000 a year. But investment returns has no ceiling. They grow larger because they're calculated as a percentage of an expanding portfolio. That's your passive yield. Eventually, these two forces collide. If you build your portfolio up to roughly $170,000, a conservative 7% market return yields nearly $11,900 entirely on its own. While you put in $12,000 of manual labor, your money generates nearly the exact same amount without physical exertion. From that day forward, your capital officially clocks in for its shift. It outworks you without requiring a pay raise, sleep, or a side hustle. Building those initial assets is like packing a snowball by hand and forcing it up a steep mountain. But cross the peak, and the terrain flips. That heavy mass rolls downhill, gathering fresh snow without your physical effort. However, this mathematical reality is not an effortless process. The historical market averages hide terrifying drawdowns, where broad markets can suffer drops exceeding 30% in a single year. Compound growth does not deliver a predictable return every December. Surviving those drawdowns without selling in a panic and shielding your money inside tax-advantaged accounts are mandatory requirements to protect this engine. You also have to protect your capital from high fees. A 1% annual management fee acts like a structural leak, draining your momentum and consuming a massive portion of your potential growth before your assets ever achieve escape velocity. The long-term average only reveals itself to individuals who pair simple, ultra-low-cost index investing with relentless psychological patience. To see how your life changes past this point, consider two investors who both grind their way to a $200,000 portfolio. They reach the threshold and then take radically different paths for the next 25 years. Investor A keeps her foot on the gas, continuing to deposit $1,000 every month. Investor B decides to ease off the accelerator, never depositing another single dollar while leaving his balance to compound. 25 years later, Investor A has roughly $1.8 million, but Investor B, who contributed zero additional dollars from his paycheck, still lands with over $1 million. While saving more money yields a higher final balance, the broader financial market officially assumes the role of senior business partner past the crossover point, leaving your physical labor as the junior partner. This reveals a truth that mainstream advice frequently ignores. Building wealth does not require a lifetime of extreme self-denial. Intense frugality is a temporary tool. Its purpose is to drag your snowball up the first steep hill and buy your capital enough initial mass to start rolling. Calculate your personal crossover line. Automate your savings to remove flawed emotions from the equation. And once you cross that boundary, you can step back and let time perform the heavy labor.